name is Ivan, and I'm Becky's one and only brother. It's great to have such a fine assortment of family and friends here to celebrate Becky and Jay's big day. Thank you everyone for making the journey to be with us. I'd like to start off with a few words about these two outstanding people near and dear to us, Becky and Jay. I think we'd all agree Becky and Jay are a natural fit for one another and are basically an all-around blast to hang out with and be around. My fiancée Christine and I were lucky enough to take a summer vacation to our family cottage on Prince Edward Island, Canada this year. It's the longest block of time I got to spend with Jason, and getting to know him was a joy. I have to say he's one of the most laid-back, go-with-the-flow guys I know, and I consider him a regular pal, like I would any other. Now, we all know Jay's a skilled hockey player, an avid Bruins fan. You can tell by the yellow towels in his seats. He weren't spinning them. But what I discovered on vacation with him is that he's a closet yard games enthusiast and champion. This includes, but is probably not limited to, croquet, bocce, and wiffle ball. At least the games that he schooled me and my family members in. Jay destroyed my family at all these yard games. You think being a newcomer to Prince Edward Island, he'd manage it humbly, but I don't think humble is in your vocabulary, or modesty for that matter. You're a poor winner, something my father could relate to. You remember those games, those wiffle ball games out there? Poor mom getting run over, dad dashing for first base. But we'll leave that aside. I do want to touch on this though. After a victory, Jay would ceremoniously ride the croquet mallet he was using as a horse, an imaginary horse, and do one of these. Stand in the proverbial ass of the horse and just rub it in all our faces. Anyway, all that aside, Jay, I wanted to make fun of you because it's my noble right. Your brother-in-law. I'm glad you're in our family. I love you. I consider you a brother now. And Becky, you've done good. Now on to the sisters there. As some of my family members may be aware of, Becky was not the easiest child to raise. She's not the selfless, beautiful, generous, and thoughtful person that you see sitting before you today. I think my parents and extended family would all agree with that. As little kids, where I would sit content with nothing more than a carpet and a pop-up to stare at. Becky was from the get-go a fidgety busybody. She had an unrelenting and demanding attitude and always wanted to get away no matter what. In fact, her first words, I believe, were "now" and "me do." I recall the first 3.5 years of my life being peaceful years of bliss. Trips to the mall with mother, cooking Christmas cookies at twilight. I added that. Well, when Becky came into the world, that quiet part of my life gave way to random outbursts, lots of crying fits when life wasn't going her way. I don't think any of us really knew what kind of an adult Becky would turn out to be back then. But later in life, something changed in her. Whether it was my parents and extended family's limitless love for her, or her life experiences at college and into the working world, there was a huge shift in her temperament and personality. Becky and I have grown closer over the years, and we've become more than just siblings, but great friends too. Sorry. While I was living out in San Diego for years, if Becky was ever in the western half of the country on business, I could pretty much expect she'd be calling, trying to hop a plane to hang up with us for a long weekend in California. I always loved how she'd go out of her way to make friends with all my friends, just immerse herself in the lifestyle. We had good times with that. Speaking of her selflessness and generosity, as a wedding gift, she bought me, my buddy, Christine, and herself Jethro Tull tickets, which one of the most kick-ass bands ever to grace the planet. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I speak to an older generation, but I love them. Anyway, it's not every sister that would go spend 3.5 hours watching a fruit cup do twirls all around the stage, playing the jazz flute. Scrapping the rest of it. Anyway, that being said, y'all know this one. Hey, Aquilanga. Anyway, I love you guys all so much. I wish you a long, healthy, happy life, and can't wait to spend more times up in the island with each other. Love you.
Great day and a lot of fun for all of us. I know we're looking forward to a great evening. We had a wonderful time last night, and it's great to see our family and our friends. And it's also great to meet our new family and our new friends. And I want to start just by saying what a wonderful guy you all raised. Jay, it has been a pleasure. As I said to him just a few moments ago, Jay, I hope not your father-in-law, I can become your friend, because he is a heck of a guy. And you guys all had a part in that. I know he's good people. I'd like to recognize the two folks that are here. Jay's grandfather, Bob, is here, and his wife, Bridget. And I also want to recognize that Becky's grandmother, Shirley, Nana Harper, who's up in Keene, New Hampshire, couldn't be with us today, but she is certainly here in spirit. She is sitting in her I'm sure she's in her recliner in the living room, and just walking through this whole event, maybe saying a rosary or something at the same time. It's surprising, and I know that the kids will certainly be in touch with her. We also have other grandparents, unfortunately, that have passed, but on both sides of the family, but we certainly know that they're here in spirit, and what a wonderful example. Whether you know it or not, I mean, you guys are huge Bruins fans, and I'm becoming one. It's very cool. But we have a large extended family up in Prince Edward Island, and Jay was fortunate enough to come up this year, and I just have to tell you that here's a guy who, first time he meets all of my Canadian relatives. He's got a Bruins tattoo on his leg, he's got a Bruins t-shirt on, and his car is covered in Bruins stickers, but they still liked him. I need to give a special thanks to Mark Gallagher. Where's Mark? Yeah. Mark Gallagher. The last couple of weeks I call him Reverend Mark. He and Becky are dear friends. They've gone back, they went to college together, they've been roommates for years, and Mark was instrumental in getting these guys together. He was a big supporter of Jay early on, and brought got Becky's attention and said, listen, why don't you call that guy? And here we are today. And lastly, I want to say a big thank you to Jay's family. Last night, they put on a spread up the street at the Old Mill Restaurant for about 40 people. It was fabulous. Came back here, and I just want to thank you all. Very quick stories about these two kids, which I think kind of exemplifies what I think about them, and I hope that you do too. Eric, I'm going to steal. Where's Eric? Eric, I'm going to steal a piece of your story. Your speech last night was terrific. Your brother told me how nervous you were, like you blew it out of the park. You really did. But I'm going to steal a piece of that story because it really tells something about Jay. When Jay was in the 6th grade. I'm going to tell the good part, Jay. I'm not bringing Eric into it, but when Jay was in the 6th grade, the people at his school had enough confidence in him that they made him a crossing guard. And he said to me afterwards, he goes, hey Clark, I had this orange belt stripe thing, and he was the kid, he was the guy. Now it's a paid gig, but back then, they had enough confidence in Jay and trust in him that he's the guy that got the kids across the street and safely on the other side. And I think it just says something about Jay, the respect that everybody has for him. They hold him in high esteem. He is a rock. He's just a great guy, and I think the school recognized that at a young age. Sue and I have been teachers for a long time, and I can tell you, they don't do things like that lightly. So I think it just speaks to his character, and I was thinking, Jay, I hope you're Becky's crossing guard. My last story, folks, is about my daughter Becky, who we love dearly. She was a really great kid. I mean, she obviously was challenging, but
highly spirited, leadership qualities. Future corporate event planner.
And she is, you know, I know it's my daughter, but doesn't she look great? I just want to say thank you, Becky. Everybody, when you're planning a wedding, they go, oh man, you drive me crazy, and it was just the opposite, folks. Becky, that's her career choice is event planning, and she made this a lot of fun. I mean, Jay and she did a ton of the work. We helped out when we could, but it was not a hassle at all, honey. And it was fun. It was glad to be part of it, and thank you so much for making it easy. My last story is about my Becky. She was in middle school, and this is Becky Jenkins, Becky Puglisi out loud. She got home from school one day. Becky loves to dance, and you're going to see that tonight, folks. But she comes home from school, it's like the 7th grade, and she is really upset. She's fuming because they canceled the Friday night dance. Why did they cancel the dance? Well, a bunch of kids got into some trouble, and the principal decided those guys screwed up, no more dance. So she comes home, and she's really upset because why should everybody suffer because of a few jerks? And I said, well, Becky, you should do something about it. Instead of sitting here complaining, why don't you do something about it? So she sat down and she wrote a letter. The next day she dropped it off in the principal's office. Well, she gets a call over the PA, Becky Jenkins, come to the office. Well, you know, the assistant principal is sitting there and they said, Beck, we read your letter and we agree with you. We're going to have the dance tonight. And I love that story because that just kind of summarizes Becky and her, the way she is. She sticks to it. And well, I'll tell you, if you've got her on your team, you've got a good partner, Jay. So the best to you. We love you both. I know you talk about having a family. God bless, and God willing, I hope that you can. Take care of each other, love each other, be respectful of one another, and I know you're going to have a long and happy life together.
Everybody get up.